Hi, it's Jim again from Eureka Tents Canada, and I'm going to show you the setup portion of the Northern Breeze screen house. This is it is the best screen house on the marketplace, also the most expensive, but there's lots of reasons why. I'll show you at first in the beige tan model through the setup portion, and then we'll switch over in the video to our other color, which is a blue with black trim for the more focus on the features. But you've got a nice oversized duffel bag to carry your Northern Breeze, and then basically it's once you've made your purchase, like any of our tents, you take it home or find a park where you can set it up ahead of going on your trip, just to ensure you understand the setup and all the parts are there. What you will have with the design is a large fabric portion. This is the shelter itself. A separate pull bag. You will have the frame, and the frame will consist of four legs, along with three awning poles. The awning poles will be thinner in diameter and easily recognized beyond that with the extension piece on the end. As far as the legs go, you'll have four rooftop pieces, which will have the pre-bent shoulders, and then four straight leg sections, which I'll get to in a second. So the Northern Breeze uses a very thick diameter lightweight aluminum frame. The beauty of those, a whole bunch of reasons why, it reduces the overall weight of the unit. It's not going to rust over time. They're reinforced at the ferrules, and it allows us, like our smaller tents, to use a shock cord instead of a chain cord. Just a nicer overall system. Like any tent, make sure your ferrules are inserted fully. So as I mentioned previously, we've got four of the poles that have the pre-bent shoulder and then the reinforced piece that will connect to the hub at the peak of the tent. So I'm going to build all those pieces. We'll also have four leg sections, just three pieces, creating a straight line, and they'll be used on all four corners of the tent. Next, again, you've chosen the spot where you want to put your shelter. Unroll it. What you're looking for is this red bag. What that is, it's protecting the top metal hub. This is crucial that when you're packing it up, put it back over the hub. What can happen, because this is metal, if you were to pack it up without the protector, it could damage the roof cloth of your unit. We know the difference when it happens to come back into our facility. We'll help you repair it, but it's not warranted. So remember, please pack it over, and that's why we've used red. So that would be the center peak of the unit. And now what we're doing with this, trying to stretch out the roof of the tent as best we can. Alright, so the next stage is using these four roof poles, working with the center hub. Basically, I'll just lay them down in more or less the position that they're going to be attached. And at this point, start making my connection. So one of the extensions on the hub, fully inserted, and then following along that seam to the clip, make that clip attachment. What I can do in a moment, I'll go to the second clip and do that one as well. While I'm here at the hub, making all four of the attachments. What you're in effect doing is building the roof of the tent or the canopy shelter at ground level. this stage, we can now stretch out the seams a bit further, taking the second clip, making those attachments. Okay, so step one with your setup is done. So what you see now is the upper portion of the Northern Breeze shelter with all 4 of the roof poles properly connected to the hub, to the 2 clips, ready for step 2. So this is the next step, which is adding the 4 legs, which I positioned around all 4 corners, to the structure. This will elevate and build the Northern Breeze into its stand-up height. And I'm doing it by myself. It's easier with 2 people, but it can be done by 1. So going to one of the corners, and I've gone down to the tent itself looking for the corner recognized by the ring and pin. I found the ring and pin that goes with this pole, and what I'm doing now, I've got that in the hand, or I can position it under my foot. I take the leg, insert it into the elbow all the way, grab the ring and pin down below, put the ring into the base of the pole, follow up the seam, find the clip, make that attachment. I do not make this attachment yet. That comes at the end. So then I repeat this process in all 4 corners. We're having this fully videoed, because this is the trickier process of it all, but don't be intimidated by it. It's not that hard. Like I say, I can do it. I always do it by myself. 2 people can make it look even easier. But it's amazing when you're setting these up and all of a sudden they take shape. Again, locate the ring and pin. There it is. Insert my pole. Pin into the base. Follow the seam. Apply the clip. And to the last one. Door was left open on this one. Ideally, when you're doing it, if you can have it zip closed, it just keeps the structure in better shape. Final step, don't be afraid to grab the pole and push towards the loop. And you'll do that in all 4 corners and the structure's up. On those corners is a metal hook. And you should have the hook, what I would call facing upwards, to receive the stretch cord at the corner. So tense up. These should be closed when you go to stake it out so you get the proper dimensions. 4 poles. You can either go through the loop at the corner or through the ring and pin. It's a tighter fit at the ring, but it can be worked. But typically I'll use the loop. Doors are closed so you get the proper measures. Put the stake in, 45-degree angle, the unit's up. So we've popped up, this is the Northern Breeze 12, the largest and the more popular of our 2 units. You're seeing behind in the beige color. We also offered in a blue, which you'll see in the continuation of the video. We also offer these in a 10x10 sizing. Features are identical. 10x10 were introduced for people just didn't need as much space or wanted to fit onto decks at a cottage or home. Not everyone has a 12-foot span to work with. So we'll go on to the blue ones and see you there. With our Northern Breeze screen house, good or bad, our Eureka customers expect our screen houses, let's face it, they're a screen house or kitchen tent, but they expect them to be as waterproof as our tents are. To that end, we achieved that goal. There's a few unique ways we've done it. On the case of the Northern Breeze, if you were to put a flap on the outside of the screen shelter without what we call these false flies or false corners, you're going to have rain eventually work its way between the wall and the waterproof flap, dripping in high on the shoulders, eliminating the amount of space that's protected on the inside of the shelter, and for most rain purposes not really that effective. What we did on this design was add a bit of a fly to the corners of the tent, so that when they're in position, just gravity being what it does, the water's going to come down off of this onto the waterproof walls and down and out of the way. So no water has the opportunity to penetrate inside the flaps with them being on the outside. You may ask what these zippers are for. This is to allow you to open it up. If you're using it as an awning, there's no impediment to the awning fabric itself, making it a nice smooth flow. When it's not being used as an awning, you just zip it closed, creating the perfect overlap and seal. You also have, with the two door ends, you have a central zipper. That's going to allow you to use, in foul weather conditions, allows you to be able to use either side of the door as your entry. So in this case, I've staked it at the center point. And if I wanted to enter the shelter, I can do so by simply moving through the center vertical zipper to a corresponding one in the mesh wall behind, accessing the tent. However, with the size of a lot of the picnic tables at the different parks that are out there, just having a central zipper often gets blocked by the size of the picnic tables, making access to your unit very, very difficult. Well, we address that as well. You not only have the center zipper in the flap and the mesh, you also have it in the corresponding corners of the tent. So for sealing it off in the event of a rain, I've got it now attached, the flap with its hook to the corner. Disconnect that, and I can now come in through the corner access. So if I block the center zippers due to the space requirements of the picnic tables inside, I can now access from this corner. That allows me to go from any of the four corners as entry. So a very, very versatile access and entry to the unit. What it also allows you to do in fair weather conditions, you can disconnect the weather flap, securing it up and out of the way. And you will have a large mesh panel. And this will apply. You can do the same process again to all four walls of the unit, creating a complete screen structure. Of note here is all the mesh we use on our screen shelters, in fact all our tents. This is a fine weave, it's a no-seam. If you're not familiar with no-seams or sand fleas, especially when you're getting to my age, into your 50s, you can no longer see the little rascals, but you can sure feel them as they're biting. This mesh will stop them from coming in. Not only will it stop them, of course, it's going to stop black flies, hornets, wasps, mosquitoes. You also can take note, the three zippers that I've mentioned, they are the beefiest zipper used in the tent industry. This is a size number 10. We use 6 of them, so there's 3 in each of the mesh panels, front and back. That's going to add per zipper, probably at retail, it's going to be somewhere between $5 and $10 hit increase in cost. But we feel it's well worth it because we just don't get zipper failures with any of our Northern Breezes. The zippers also give you another wonderful function. We talked about picnic tables blocking the entrance through the center zip. Well, now with the corner zips you can get in easily unimpeded, but it also allows you, if your shelter, you're at a certain time of year where the biting insects aren't an issue or the hornets haven't really come out, it's strictly shade and rain protection, what you can do here is simply release the 2 corner zips, and like we did with the waterproof wall, you can now roll these back out of the way, and this will give you nice, easy, unimpeded entry to the entire structure. and you can even envision that if you wanted to, as some people have done. They've got 4 complete set of awning poles, so they can have easy access right through the unit with shade angling off all 4 walls. So we've got, again, this is the 10 by 10 or 12 by 12, which is actually our more popular unit. Will do exactly the same function. Inside, huge peak height, getting close to 8 feet in total. So lots of room, and it works out fairly vertical walls, so it really maximizes the internal space. The other thing that we've done on the Northern Breeze is, like our top-end Eureka camping tents, all exposed seams. So for example, this horizontal seam right here above the doors is also taped. The black seams coming down here are taped, and the fabric on the roof cloth, not only being a little heavier roof cloth than most screen shelters, that has a 3,000 millimeter waterproof coating, which is extremely high. It's the highest guaranteed in the screen shelter industry. Just showing here how you can, if it's just, you don't need the rain protection on a given day, all 4 walls can be exposed from nice airflow. What you also have included with our Northern Breezes here in Canada are 8 more guy lines, such as we've got here with corresponding stakes. Just the nature of the structure, fairly straight walls, it is susceptible to high winds, and what can happen, you could get where it works unit, and at a certain point it can give way, causing damage to the frame structure. With the 8 guy lines, you would attach 2 to each corner in an inverted V pattern. So right above at the shoulder, right above the connection to the tent, tie your 2 guy lines there, run one out one angle, one on the other, and stake it out. If you do that in all 4 corners of the tent, it's amazing the stability that you'll add to the structure. Northern Breeze, we introduced this unit around the year 2000, and it has climbed to the top of the scale both in price, but also in quality, feature, and performance. And it's just for those people who have bought these over the years, we hear more and more and more and more just how much they love them, the simplicity, the quality, the versatility, and the memories that come with it. Hi, it's Jim again from Eureka Tents Canada, and I'm going to show you the setup portion of the Northern Breeze screen house. This is it is the best screen house on the marketplace, also the most expensive, but there's lots of reasons why. I'll show you at first in the beige tan model through the setup portion, and then we'll switch over in the video to our other color, which is a blue with black trim for the more focus on the features. But you've got a nice oversized duffel bag to carry your Northern Breeze, and then basically it's once you've made your purchase, like any of our tents, take it home or find a park where you can set it up ahead of going on your trip, just to ensure you understand the setup and all the parts are there. What you will have with the design is a large fabric portion. This is the shelter itself. A separate pull bag. You will have the frame, and the frame will consist of 4 legs, along with 3 awning poles. The awning poles will be thinner in diameter and easily recognized beyond that with the extension piece on the end. As far as the legs go, you'll have 4 rooftop pieces, which will have the pre-bent shoulders, and then 4 straight leg sections, which I'll get to in a second. So the Northern Breeze uses a very thick diameter lightweight aluminum frame. The beauty of those